Man, I hate to say it. But last night there was a shooting in Peckham, and we don't know too much about the situation so far. I seen this yesterday on Reddit, and people were saying that apparently someone got killed, but I don't think that's true. I do believe someone got rushed into hospital, and I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown on what we know so far. But it's just crazy to think that these things are actually happening in the UK. Yes, we know knife crime is through the roof in the UK, but gun crime is also a thing that happens in the UK. And just think about the amount of gun crime that doesn't get reported to the police that they don't know about. It's absolutely insane. Like, this is England, bro, and people are getting shot in England, and it's probably by young people doing this stuff. So we're going to take a look at some of the information that we can see so far. So yesterday I see this. It says shooting in Peckham. Just now, apparently, someone got killed. This was 19 hours ago on Reddit. So we're going to take a look. This is part of the footage from the scene, right? So we can't see much. Just seeing, a lot of police there. But that's where it happened. So let's take a look at some of these comments, and then I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown from the actual report of what's happened. So people are saying, "Damn, it's all going off tonight." Now let me just say, yesterday was Bonfire night, so you're hearing a lot of fireworks, and fireworks sound similar to someone letting off gunshots. So whoever did it, it must have been done on purpose on that particular day, because they I don't know I'm just assuming. But look, let's take a look at the comments. So they're saying, "Damn, it's all going off tonight. Difficult to distinguish between gunshots and fireworks in the moment. Good cover. If I recall correctly, Giddy's murder was timed with Eid fireworks." I'm not sure who Giddy is, but rest in peace to Giddy. Now they were saying, "No, it weren't Eid, but it was fireworks night." Okay. Always shootings on Bonfire night for some reason. And then people are saying, what's happened here? So the gunshot noise blends in with the fireworks. They're saying smart, not gonna lie. Well, I don't know how to use this, bro. They're saying smart, not gonna lie. Now, you mean in Peckham or London in general? Now, someone said they spoke to the police and someone was shot, but non-life-threatening injuries in the square in front of the library. And people are saying, nah, smart day to do a drill, LMAO. RIP to the victim, though. Like, it's crazy that people are saying smart day to do a drill and laughing about this situation. No one died that I know of, but, bro, like, this is a serious situation. Again, someone's now saying, what the F are you laughing for? He probably doesn't find it funny, but for some reason, a lot of people on the internet can't type sentences without laughing or using emojis. The bus driver said it was a stabbing. Guy in the news agents also mentioned a stabbing. And they're saying Peckham isn't even taped off right now. And someone said they just drove past there and it's looking pretty taped off, if you ask me. Now, what we're going to do, we're not just going to read comments on Reddit. We're going to actually take a look at the news report. So what they were saying here, this is 4 hours ago for the news shopper. Peckham Library Hill Street shooting. Man taken to hospital. So they're confirming that someone's been taken to hospital. And they're saying a man has been taken to hospital after a shooting outside a library in southeast London. The incident happened in Peckham Library in Peckham Hill Street just before 6:40 p.m. yesterday on November the 5th. Obviously, that's Bonfire night. Officers and London ambulance service crews attended and found a man who had been shot. He was treated at the scene before being taken to hospital where his condition is unknown. A spokesperson for London Ambulance Service said, "We were called at 6:38 p.m. on Wednesday the 5th of November to reports of a shooting on Peckham Hill Street, SE15. We sent resources including an ambulance crew, an advanced paramedic, an incident response officer and a paramedic in a fast response car. We also dispatched a trauma team in a car from London's air ambulance. We treated a man for a gunshot wound and took him to a major trauma center." So that's what they're saying about the situation, right? So it's a real situation that's happened. Now, we've got some pictures from the actual scene. So this is just a post from My London. On Facebook, it says, "A man is in hospital following a shooting in South London last night, November the 5th. He was shot once in Peckham Hill Street just before 6:40 p.m. The man, whose age is unclear, was taken to a major trauma centre where he remains. The severity of his injuries is yet to be confirmed by police." So here we're looking at some of the pictures, right? So this is taped off. You can see this. I'm not sure what shop this is here. You can see a news agent's next door to it. Now, taped off outside the library. Mad. Obviously, I don't have Facebook, so I can't look at these pictures. It's just annoying. Don't know how to get rid of this. But yeah, pretty much, you guys saw what I was seeing there. I just haven't got Facebook to actually look at this stuff. Now, we've got some more information on the situation and some more images of the scene, basically. I'm just trying to find them for you. So if we type in Peckham shooting on Twitter, here we can see huge police presence with officers on hands and knees after Peckham shooting. Now look, you can see the officers. I'm assuming is that for forensics? I'm not 100% sure. You've got the police there, the library's here, police there. It's not a good situation, man. It's not a good situation. And I remember back in the day when I was younger, listening to like PYG and shit, I knew Peckham was frying. And this was years ago. And for this to still be happening is crazy. And they're also saying that, the number of gun offences had increased by 84.6% in the year ending 2023 to 24 compared to 2021 to 22 in Suffolk, which is the London Borough of Suffolk. So it's not just Peckham. But if we take a look at some of these statistics that I've got from ChatGPT here, I've said, give me some Peckham gun statistics. And they're saying, here are some key gun and weapons related crime statistics for the Peckham/London Borough of Suffolk area in London. So as I said, in the year ending 2023 to 24, Suffolk saw 72 gun-related offences, all ages excluding domestic abuse. Also in that year, the number of gun offences had increased by 84.6% compared to 2021 to 22 in Suffolk. At one point, the year to April, Suffolk had 31 instances of gun possession and 17 offences of possession of firearms with intent, ranking second highest in London. Crazy. For the local ward of Peckham, weapons possession, i.e. possessions of weapons offence category, was 0.748 offences per 1,000 residents for the year September 2024 to August 2025. And then they're giving me a bit more of a breakdown for the SE15 Peckham postcode area, and pretty much this is what they were saying. So let me just find out a bit more specific. A specific postcode in Peckham, SE15 5ED, for the year September 2024 to August 2025. The overall crime rate, 937 crimes. Wow. That's insane. 937 crimes per 1,000 residents. So it's essentially like 90, a bit more than 90% of people, 90% of 1,000 residents are committing a crime. And then possession of weapons, they were saying 5.42 per 1,000 residents have possession of weapons. But this is all they've got as statistics. This is what they're basing off of who they've caught, not everyone that they've caught. So a recent shooting incident on the 3rd of August 2025, a man in his 20s was shot in the SE15 area Peckham in the early hours, but non-life threatening. I just find this absolutely insane that we're in the UK, guns are fully illegal, but bro, it's not hard for people to get guns, and we still have people getting shot. And these Americans out there, or the Americans that are watching the channel, they probably think that the UK ain't really got guns like that. But as you can see from the statistics, the UK definitely has guns. Someone got shot yesterday. And it's just sad to see that, we don't know the age of the victim or the suspect who's done it. But at the same time, it's very likely that it could be people that are very young. And I just feel like, we've got to do better to get our youth off of this type of shit. Unfortunately, this is the type of stuff that happens in our culture. It does happen. It's not something that is new. This has been happening for a while. Peckham has been frying. London in general has been frying, and people have got straps and people use them. But I just feel like, how could we actually stop this from happening? How could we stop the youth from obtaining a strap or carrying a knife? Or how could we stop this? Because England's going so downhill. It's going so downhill, and I just feel like it's getting worse and worse for the people who actually live here, the people who are actually from here. Like, we've got to do something to get the youths off of this. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think would be good for the youths to not be on this, and even for the adults. Like, I speak to a lot of people from those areas, and it's normal for them to carry a strap. It's normal for them to carry a weapon. Like, this is just normal day-to-day life for the people who are actually from there. But what can be put in place to actually get these things to stop happening? I don't know. Like, clearly what's happening right now is not working, because you saw over an 80% increase from the year before of people carrying guns. It's absolutely wild, bro. It's absolutely wild. But these are the things that are genuinely happening in the UK, and I think it's important that we spread awareness about this. Someone's got shot. We don't know who it is. We don't know who's done it. I'm not here to make a video on who's done it, but I just think it's important that we raise awareness for these situations. We know that this is actually happening, and if you've got a voice, you've got a platform. It'd be good for us guys who have got a voice and who've got a platform to come together and maybe do something that can prevent these things from happening, because we don't want people getting shot, bro. We want this stuff to stop at the end of the day. So you guys, you let me know what you think could be possible to be put in place to stop these type of things happening. Let me know what you're thinking about it in the comments, and drop a like on this video. Subscribe to Honcho's House for more updates. I'm out.